welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Faye, and today we are talking about my favourite beauty pie skincare, and unfortunately also my least favourite beauty pie skincare. Now obviously I just want to point out that skincare is super personal. It's really dependent on skin type. My skin type is dry combination, like I get a little oil through the T-zone, but I'm mostly dry. I have very sensitive skin. I'm quite acne prone, and that's my skin type, and so obviously that affects what products I like and what products I don't like. A lot of the time with skincare, there's not so much products that are like objectively bad, like it just doesn't work for a particular person or a particular skin type. I think it's easier to talk about makeup. I think with makeup, it's easier to say something is just like actually bad, if you know what I mean, whereas skincare is just a lot more subjective. But anyway, let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to alternate between good things and bad things so that it's not like a super depressing section and a super happy section. And we're going to start with something I don't like, just so that we can end with something I do like. Okay, so the first thing I don't like is these Superactive Capsules Pure Double Vitamin C and Vitamin E. Now, this is a really ingenious method, in my opinion. Vitamin C is notoriously unstable and difficult to formulate into skincare products, and so they've put them in these little like silicone capsules, and you basically just, you take a capsule out, get one out, got 3, but you've got these capsules, putting stuff down, you've got these little capsules, and you just sort of twist off the top and the product comes out. I keep mine in the box so they're doubly away from sunlight. Obviously these things are not see-through, they're solid, so it's protecting the vitamin C from the sunlight. So I think in terms of a way of keeping vitamin C in a way that it's not gonna go bad, is a really ingenious method. The problem is I don't actually like the formula of the product. Now, I don't mind a little bit of silicone in my skincare, in my makeup. I'm not someone who completely avoids silicones, and I will note that quite a lot of beauty pie skincare does contain silicone, so if you're trying to completely avoid silicone, the brand might not be for you in general, because looking at the ingredients list on their website, like silicone is quite a common ingredient in a lot of their products. But this is super silicone-y, like so silicone-y. Like I feel like I'm putting a thick silicone primer on my face when I try and use these, and that's just too much for me. That's just too much silicone for me. They just feel weird. It feels like I'm putting a really thick primer on my face. I don't like the feeling of it. It's just a very odd texture to the formula. Oh, stick it to my, the problem with lipstick. Ugh. And I prefer that it was less thick and silicone-y. Like it's a kind of hard to describe apart from to say that it feels like primer. And I kind of worry that like I have to put these on first, right? Like I have to put this on as the first layer of skincare, because I found that if I try and apply other skincare first, like a different like lightweight serum or something, and then I try and rub this in on top, it kind of balls up, you know, the way silicone can and the way your primer can, it kind of balls up. Oh my god, it's so warm today, guys. My top lip is sweating so bad. Anyway, it can kind of ball up, so you have to put it on, or in my experience, you have to put it on first. And then I'm like, it's so thick and silicone-y, like, is there any point in putting any other skincare on top of it? Like, is it gonna reach my skin? I don't know. Anyway, I don't like the feel of it. It feels really weird, it feels like primer, and there's just too much silicone. Okay, something that I really like, and that is these. These are the Plantastic Micropeeling Superdrops, and these are a very gentle peeling acid. So for me personally, I don't really use face scrub. I don't think really anyone should use a lot of face scrub, because it really strips the skin. If you have dry skin, you might try and use face scrub to like remove dry parts of the flakiness or whatever, but it just kind of makes the problem worse, because it might take off that top bit, but it creates problems further down by just like stripping the skin and drying it out and being really aggressive on it, and so it just perpetuates the problem. And then if you have acne, you don't want to use a scrub, because you don't want to break the surface of the skin where you have spots, because that's bad, it can get infected, it's bad for scarring and healing and everything. So really I think that exfoliating acids are a much better path to take in general, and I really love the CosRx BHA acids. This is really good for just smoothing out the skin. It's super, super gentle. So even with my dry, sensitive skin, I could use this every day if I wanted to. I don't, because I bring in other types of skincare retinols, and I'm going to talk about some retinol in a sec. But I like to use these a few times a week. Keeps the skin smooth, removes any dry skin without dehydrating the skin, without making it even more flaky and peely, because some acids I find are just too strong and they make my skin really dry and sensitive. This, I think you could pretty much, anyone can use, because I'm super sensitive and I can use it. And it really does just gently remove all that surface dryness, even out the skin, make sure there's no flakiness, so that when you put on your makeup, things go on much better. Like, even though I have dry skin, I can apply matte makeup because I don't usually have any like particular like flakiness or bits that are going to look bad if I apply a matte foundation, because using this means my skin is just completely smoothed out and flake free. I think the BHA Cosrx ones are better for loosening up blackheads, but this is good for just all over exfoliation of the skin. Okay, back to something that I don't like, and that is the Beauty Pie triple, I keep saying beauty, obviously it's Beauty Pie, the whole video is Beauty Pie, the triple hyaluronic acid lipopeptide serum. And my complaint with this is that it breaks me out, and I don't know exactly why. Like I said, I am very acne prone, and yeah, I just, as soon as, like, literally it was obviously not immediate, but like the next day, sorry, I lose my voice, the next day after I'd used this, like, I was definitely breaking out, and I let it calm down and I tried it again, and the same thing happened. So if you're acne prone, this might not be for you. I prefer the Vichy Mineral 89 serum, which also has hyaluronic acid in it, because hyaluronic acid is a great ingredient, and the actual formulation of this, in terms of the science behind the types of hyaluronic acid and stuff in there, is really solid. It's a really good serum if you're going to be able to cope with it and have it not break you out. So maybe if you're just someone who doesn't have sensitive skin and isn't acne prone, this could be for you, but it's not for me. Okay, like I said, I'm going to talk about some retinol. I really like the Super Retinol Anti-Wrinkle Eye Cream. Now, I have very sensitive skin, like I've just said, like a million times, and I also have dry skin, and my under eyes are particularly sensitive. My eyes are sensitive, like they get stingy and water a lot, like, you know, with some SPFs and other things like that. And this is really, really mild, so it doesn't like irritate my under eyes, it doesn't sting, it doesn't dry them out, it doesn't get in my eyes and make my eyes burn. It's really, really gentle, but it works. And I do notice that when I use this on a regular basis, the fine lines around my eyes are less apparent, like they just look a bit smoother, a bit more sort of plumped up. Like there's just, it actually it genuinely works. I've been using this for a long time now. I probably need to buy, I'm trying to see, it's hard to see like in something like this. I'm holding it up to the light to see if there's any way I can tell how much is in here. I'm probably going to need to buy another one soon because I have been using it for ages, and I genuinely think that it works. Okay, another thing that I don't like, that is the Japanfusion Pure Transforming Cleanser. Now, again, it made me break out. I didn't think a cleanser would make me break out, right? Because you are like rinsing it off your skin. But I thought I went on holiday for about 10 days right before like the coronavirus thing happened. I went to Belgium, and usually I use a liquidy oil cleanser that's in a pump bottle, and it's very, very liquidy. And it's not the best to travel with necessarily because it's so liquidy. So I thought, I'll take this. It's a similar idea. It's like you put it on dry, it's like a gel cream that turns into an oil as you massage it in, and then you rinse it off with water, it turns milky. It's that kind of cleanser. And so apart from in texture, this being more like thick and creamy versus my usual DHC deep cleansing oil, which is my favorite oil cleanser, this is obviously much more convenient to travel with, but otherwise it's a relatively similar kind of idea. And so I went away, and this was the only cleanser that I took, which was a really big mistake, because after a couple of days I started breaking out really badly, and by like day 6 I ended up going to a Belgian pharmacy and buying a Vichy cleanser, because I was breaking out so badly. And so now I mostly use this for removing makeup off my hands, like when I'm doing my makeup and I've put my foundation or my liquid highlight on the back of my hands, or I've got eyeliner or mascara on my fingers, or I've been swatching something. I use this to clean up after filming videos basically, and after putting on my makeup, and I just use it on my hands. So it will get used, but I can't put it on my face. And yeah, again, this, I'm not saying it's a bad product. I'm not saying it's a bad cleanser. It does remove makeup. It is quite an effective cleanser. I still prefer my DHC. I don't think it's as good as the DHC one, but it is still an effective cleanser. It just makes me break out. Back to something I like, and it's still Super Retinol line. It's the high dose intensive booster treatment, and this is another just like really lovely mild retinol serum, but this is obviously for the whole face. Similar to this in that it is mild enough that it doesn't irritate the skin, it doesn't dry my skin out, but it still does its job. And this is one I will continue to repurchase. I'm not going to say a whole ton more about it because it's not dissimilar to this. But yeah, if you have sensitive skin and you struggle with stronger retinols irritating your skin, I would really recommend the Beauty Pie one. Okay, something I didn't like. Now I will say this, Beauty Pie skincare is on average, I think, very good. And so it was actually hard for me to find things to put in like a bottom 5, as in things that I thought were really, really bad. Because there's not many things that I thought really didn't work for me. I'm going to say really bad. I don't mean they're really bad, I just mean that they didn't work for me. So I am going to include something that Beauty Pie have taken off their website, and the reason they've taken it off their website is because I think it genuinely is bad. Like, I don't think this is a subjective thing. I think this product was genuinely bad, and I'm glad that they had enough self-awareness to get rid of it. And this is the Louis Boost Spot Brightening Serum. I bought this for pigmentation because I usually use a Clinique serum for pigmentation, and this was, I'm just dropping things, don't worry. This was cheaper, and I thought I'd try this, but it peels. It doesn't matter what you do, it causes peeling. Like, you put it on your face, and then later you put your sunscreen, just like putting sunscreen on top of this to go out with no makeup on. You touch your face, and then all of a sudden you've got this peeling stuff coming off your face, and then there's like these weird crumbs on your face, and you try and get them off, and as you get it off, it makes it worse. And I actually ended up going into a cafe to wash my face in the bathroom when I was out and about with this on under my sun cream, because it started peeling so badly. There's no way you could put makeup on top of it. It was just really, really bad. And obviously it's like they seem to have discontinued it, so it's like, okay, what's the point of including it? But I want to include it to highlight the fact that Beauty Pie can screw up and make bad skincare. Like anyone can release a bad product, and it just, I want to show that they did release a bad product even though it's discontinued, because it's only fair that it gets a mention. We can't pretend like that never happened, because that was not good. Okay, back to something that I like, and that is the Chi Energy Ginseng Root and Ginger Super Moisture Cream. This is a really, really nice moisturizer. It has a slightly odd smell, probably because of like the herbal ingredients in it, but it doesn't make me break out, and it's moisturizing. Now, this is a hard balance for someone with dry skin who's acne prone, because you need a reasonably intense moisturizer, but you don't want something that's going to hog your pores and make you break out. And this is like, it's quite thick, but it's not like really, really thick. Like, it has a little bit of liquidiness to it, but it's very nourishing, very hydrating, didn't make me break out. I like to dip my little jade roller in it and massage it into my face. If you can deal with the smell, I think this is a really good moisturizer. If you're looking for something that's going to give you that hydration, but not be like super thick and greasy. And that brings me on to what I wanted to talk about for my number 5 worst slot. And it's not an actual product, it's a general issue. And that is the amount of Beauty Pie facial skincare products that contain shea butter. Now, anyone pretty much who's acne prone probably wants to avoid putting shea butter on their face. I put shea butter, like, stuff on my hair. Like, I use like the Shea Moisture range, and I put it on my legs and all of that. I cannot put it on my face because I will break out like crazy. Like, shea butter is just so bad for my acne prone skin. And so when I was looking for a moisturizer to try, I was scrolling through and looking at the ingredients of product after product after product, and it was like, it contains shea butter, contains shea butter, contains shea butter. I was like, well, I know there's no point in me buying that because I know I won't like it, because I know it will break me out because it's got shea butter in it. And that's how I came to actually buy this one, because this one is one of the few that I found that does not contain shea butter. A lot of their moisturizers contain shea butter. And I even have like the retinol hand cream, which as a hand cream feels really lovely. And I thought, you know, the hands are one of the first signs of aging, along with the neck. So, you know, you want to look after that as well. So I thought retinol hand cream, that's a really good idea. But obviously retinol makes your skin more sensitive to the sun. And so, I mean, if I'm going out in the sun, I try and spread my sun cream all the way down to my hands anyway. But then if you go to the loo, you know, you wash your hands, it comes off, you have to reapply it. So I was like, it's a retinol hand cream, so I want to use it at night, because that makes sense to me because it's retinol. Anyway, it has shea butter in it, and I thought, you know, it will be okay, because maybe, you know, I touch my face in the night and I get the teeniest little bit onto my face, and all my other skincare and moisturizers will be on already, and it will be fine. It wasn't fine. It wasn't fine, because I sleep with my hands up by my face, and I found that where my hand was touching my face around the jawline, the hand cream was getting on my face and making me break out. So I'm currently using that just like on my arms, like on the backs of my arms at other places, because I can't really put it on my hands at night because I get it on my face, and I don't want to put it on my hands in the day because of the retinol. So that's just like a general issue that I've noticed with Beauty Pie skincare, is that what is really good is all the ingredients are on the website for every product. You can see the list, but there is quite a lot of things with shea butter, and there is quite a lot of things with silicone. And so it really depends how you feel about those products and whether they work for you. But just be careful if you are acne prone, go and look at the ingredients. Obviously, sometimes it can be hard to identify what breaks you out, and so we don't always know exactly what it is. Like with this triple hyaluronic acid, I don't know what it is about this that breaks me out, although I then went and looked at the worst, I looked at the reviews on the website, sorted them from worst to best, and there are a lot of people there like, this made me break out, so I'm not alone. But yeah, just be careful with your ingredients, and if you are acne prone, probably want to avoid, I also avoid coconut oil, and yeah, shea butter, and it's just one of those things. Anyway, back to something I actually really like to finish off, and that is the Oxygen Instant Facial Refueling Mask. This is a really nice mask. It's only one you leave on for a short period of time, 15 to 20 minutes. It says apply a fine layer, and remove any residue with a damp cloth before applying moisturizer. Like, I actually wash my face after this to make sure all traces are removed, but it says you can just remove it with a damp washcloth. And this exfoliates a little bit. Like, it's not too exfoliating. It doesn't dry my skin out. Like, if I had a really, really dry nose one day for whatever reason, like if I'd had a cold or had a really dry nose and it was flaky, I wouldn't use this because it would exacerbate that a little bit. But if my skin's in generally good condition, there's only a few little dry patches that need exfoliating but aren't like super dry, then this will sort of exfoliate those little patches, make your skin really smooth, make it look really like fresh and bright. It just makes your skin look really bright in some way. It's kind of hard to describe, but it does brighten up. It's like I say, with the exfoliating thing, it's the salicylic acid. It's got that acid in it that's going to exfoliate. So if you've got some little bits that need exfoliating, it's really good. If you have an area of chronic dryness because you've had a cold or something and your nose is super dry, then you don't want to put salicylic acid on it. You just want to moisturize it until it gets a bit better before you go in and try and remove any of the little bits of excess dead skin you've got left at the end. But anyway, that's just a minor point. But yeah, with my dry sensitive skin, I can use this. It doesn't irritate me. It's not too drying. It exfoliates, it brightens, it makes you just look really glowy. And you know, it's just it's nice to apply a mask. It feels like a little treat. Okay, I'm done. I hope my thing is still recording because I've been chatting for ages, and sometimes if I talk for too long without like stopping it and restarting it, it's a little bit mad at me. But no, it's still filming. It's all good. So those are my favourites. I just want to give an honourable mention to their cleansing cloths, because this is not a skincare product technically really in the same way that, you know, all of this stuff is, but it is something that I use on a regular basis to wash my face with, to dry my face with, and I think they're really nice. So this has been through the wash a few times, so it's not looking as white and as pristine as it once did. They do shrink up a little bit and go a little bit kind of curled up, but that doesn't matter to me too much. They have like a fluffy, soft side, and then they have a more like flat, sort of slightly rougher, cottony side. They have a little hook attached to them, which in my opinion makes them so much better than a typical flannel, because I can just hang this up by my sink, and this is what I use to dry my face, and they're really nice. And because of the little hook, I don't get them confused with my dusters, which look kind of similar, which is helpful. So that was everything for today. I hope blah, blah, blah. I hope you found this useful. Again, like I say, I'm not saying that these are bad products. I'm saying they didn't work for my sensitive acne-prone skin type. That's not to say they won't work for someone else, that you won't love them, that they won't be great for you. I'm just saying, like, if you've got a skin type like mine that is acne prone and sensitive, they're ones that you potentially want to avoid. And also, if you hate silicone, just avoid these, because it's like primer. I don't really like the feel of it, it's weird. Okay, I really am done. I have a whole bunch of other videos that you could look at. I have some other beauty pie videos. There'll be some links on the screen somewhere. Please subscribe. People say that, right? It feels weird to say that. I don't really like saying it. I hardly ever say it. Like, you can subscribe if you want. Like, if you found this video helpful and you would like to see other videos. I have a best, and worst beauty pie makeup and some other beauty pie videos related things, some favourites of beauty pie stuff in, and some tutorials with beauty pie stuff in, and yeah, I'm gonna do a full face of beauty pie makeup sometime soon, so you subscribe if you want to see that. And apart from that, I will just say goodbye. Okay,